Alright, hello everybody. So I've decided to start a second unit that will be a static unit, one that will just be a straight build, and you guys can follow along and see what needs to be done, and kind of a tutorial. So with that, I'm going to start with the rear engines, which I have pieced together with some clamps, very simply. 4 clamps, make it nice and tight, pinch the seam. As you can see here, bam, looks pretty good. Happy with that. It's the way that it is. These molds, or these masters that I used, had to be rebuilt. They were actually broken, so at least one of them was. And in turn, so it's not perfect, but it's working very nicely still, with a little bit of fiddling, shall we say. But the clamps hold it beautifully. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some Gorilla Glue epoxy. And with that, I will mix the epoxy, and I'm going to apply it to both sides here, and then I'm going to reclamp, and I will place it on top of this so that I don't make a mess. It doesn't stick to my board. So that's good. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to unclamp. That's my glue. And you guys will follow along as I go. So 4 clamps. Use some stir sticks as spacers between this, because it kind of clamps together when you don't use them. So in turn, to hold that space there between the engines. There we go. That would be why that's there. All right, so let's mix some epoxy for the seam. That should I eye it out usually. Sometimes I waste some, sometimes I don't. That's what it is. Just consider it the cost of doing business. So I'll give it a good mix, so you guys can see, follow along. Mix the epoxy very nicely, thorough mix. And I use this Gorilla Glue epoxy. I find it very effective. Easy to distribute. I'm just going to run a bead along this line. Inner seams on the sides here. Just should probably be careful because I'm putting that on my body. So I'm really bad like that. Sorry guys, I stepped out of frame. Alright. Epoxy, epoxy. Epoxy. Nice even distribution on top of the line. And let's see. Oops. It doesn't matter if we bleed a little bit. Alright, so there's one side. Do that. And probably go to this side. Just like so. Doesn't have to be as thorough as the other side, but nice bead if possible, all the way along, and a little bit up in here. All right, I think we're good to go. Now we're going to do this. There. Together, apply our clamps to our 1 and 3 engines. So it fits nicely there and holds. Put our spacers in. There. And there. There's one. There we go. Here, pinch, press this together, and then the clamps. spacer in. Play, nice and tight, it's flat, clamps are secure and tight. So these edges, clamp, press and clamp, press and clamp. All right, so as you can see, oops, it's together. I have that. So fix this. And I can flip it over. I'll let it cure. There we go. We can do this. All right, so you get an idea. You can see this is epoxy now. Go back. I'm going to try to press as much of this epoxy into the seam as possible. That's pretty much it, guys. So now this will take 24 hours to properly cure. So what I will do is I will get back to you guys tomorrow, and we will do cleanup on this and install the engine magnets and whatnot. This will be a static version, but the engines will come out and attach for shipping purposes, so they don't get damaged. Right, so they'll come out and they'll be magnetized, so all the pieces will fit all possible. All right, so follow along, and yeah, welcome to day one, engine build. 42-inch Star Destroyer. Subscribe, like, welcome aboard.